is Vrancic. Vrancic is 30 yards out. Plays it into the penalty. A great touch from Stiepermann. It's fallen in the end for Dow, who's equalised. Norwich weren't behind for long. Kieran Dow with a debut goal. The ball played into the penalty area. Luton couldn't clear, and it was just a first-time instinctive shot from the edge of the box by Dow into the net. And it is 1-1 at Kenilworth Road. Great finish from Kieran Dow. Halfway inside the Norwich half. Back it goes to Stearman. Stearman from halfway, being closed down. He's actually played a back pass there. It's a dreadful back pass. He's given it straight to Pukki. Pukki moves in on goal. Is this the moment for Pukki? He lays it off for Eadie! And that's going to be the goal for Norwich City. The breakthrough. We thought it might be Teemu Pukki ending his long wait for a goal from open play, but very unselfishly, he's laid it onto a plate for Darren Eadie to score his first ever league goal. And with 10 minutes to go on the opening day, Norwich City have the lead. Dreadful error from Huddersfield. It's Huddersfield 0, Norwich 1. Aarons gives it back to Kintia, who crosses again into the penalty area. Pukki gets his head to it, straight at the goalkeeper, who's let it slip into the net! It's a mistake from Declan Rudd, but it's the moment that Norwich City fans have been waiting for. Back inside Carrow Road to see their team score. It's Teemu Pukki who's got it. A real touch of fortune about it. His header, Declan Rudd should have saved it, seemed to turn it onto the post and then into the net. But Norwich are level, and Pukki's back among the goals. It's Norwich 1, Preston 1. Here comes Aarons on the right-hand side, crosses into the penalty area, comes off a Preston defender. This one might fall for Paqueta. Oh, it's blocked in the 6-yard box. Another chance! This time he scored! Paqueta with the equaliser. He makes amends for missing a chance earlier on. He comes across towards the supporters, realises that none of his teammates are with him because they want to get the ball back on the halfway line to try and get a winner. But that's Paqueta's first Norwich goal. He'll be feeling a bit better about life. They're back on terms. It's Norwich 2, Preston 2.
And now we've had a mixed bag of results so far in our opening 3 games of the season. And what have you made of our start to the campaign?
Yeah, I would say it was definitely a great start. Of course, with the last game in Bournemouth away, was not the result that we really wanted. I think we deserved a little bit more. Yeah, but no, from all the points, I think we had a good start in the season.
Yeah, and there was plenty to be encouraged by in that Bournemouth game, particularly in the second half. What was your sort of main takeaways from that match?
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, it was definitely one of our best games so far. We come back to our old ways a little bit. We tried a lot. Our game from behind to play in front, and yeah, I think yeah, we take the confidence for the next game against Derby now.
And what would you say are the key things that we've learned from the first 3 games of the season so far?
Yeah, that it's definitely not easy. It's a championship. Everything can happen, and I think so. A goal in a very late minutes, like after 90 minutes, it's possible. And yeah, it's not easy.
And you can have a really good performance and not get a result, and the opposite as well. So it's quite a strange league in that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
How has the summer been for you? You've obviously seen plenty of faces coming and going with the signings that have been made.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have a lot of faces, new faces here, and yeah, they're all quite very great guys. And I think some of them they need a little bit time to It's like me when I come new to that country, and like we say to him, Pepe, like Primislav. Paqueta, sorry, it's difficult, but we say Pepe, like for him as well, it's a very difficult situation to learn the language and everything, but he's a very good player. He has the speed and also the other ones, and it takes a little bit of time, but every one of them are very great guys.
And how do you help the new guys kind of settle in?
Yeah, we do a lot with them. Like especially Pepe, he speaks German. We help him a little bit in some ways. Some players do something outside with them when they have days off or free from the training ground. And yeah, like.
Yeah, there are a lot of attacking options at the moment. Obviously, a shame that Kieran Dow got injured recently.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, there is competition for places in the squad.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of competition. That's very good this year because we need it. You know, football. I think you need a little bit of competition because then everyone is a little bit under pressure and everyone know he has to deliver, and that's why it's a good thing.
And for this weekend, Derby haven't had the sort of best start to the season. But you know, you can't underestimate anyone in this league, can you?
That's true. It's every game is different. It's a difficult league, and I think everyone can beat everyone, and we have to focus on our things. We know what we want to do, and yeah, it will definitely not an easy task. But yeah, if we do what we know we can, then we will hopefully win.
And what do you remember of it? It was quite a crazy time the last time that Derby came to Carrow Road.
Let me think. Remember.
The lights went out.
Yeah, exactly. The lights went out. Yeah, exactly. It was. But what was the result?
I think it was 4-3 to Derby.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then they stopped it, and we went in.
Yeah, exactly. And then we come out, and then they score the goal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this was. I don't know. I don't say it, but a horrible situation. That's for sure. This was like. I remember now. Yeah, exactly. The lights went out, and I think Lampard was there at the time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, was the worst. I think one of the worst games because I think it was a good game, definitely, but I think at the end it was not a fair result for us.
And with the international break now just around the corner, you know, I'm sure we want to get that win and go into that with high spirits.
Definitely, we want definitely the win, and after that we have the international break, but we definitely want the 3 points. Let the 3 points definitely at home.
Corner, it's gone all the way through. Chance! Blocked on the line, but it's going to go in! It's going to go in! Jackson completes his hat-trick in stoppage time, and it's out of chaos at Carrow Road! Norwich 3, Derby 2, and Jackson completes his hat-trick! Wow! We've had some dramatic finishes at Carrow Road this season. That takes the biscuit. 3-2, Norwich are staying second.
Hello, here's Tim Klose, and you are watching NR1 Live.
And arriving at Carrow Road, here they come, the Derby County players, needing a result from today's game. Had a poor start to the season. There's the main man, Wayne Rooney, of course. Here's Delia. What do we all do that? Have the temperature taken? Everybody leans forward into it. Not quite sure why that is. But here we are. Welcome back to NR1 Live. And you are back at the home of football, Carrow Road. And look at the green grass of home. It's just outstanding. We've noticed the pitch today is absolutely pristine. If you can't play on this, you can't play, Rob, can you? My usual guest in the studio, Rob. If you can't play on this, mate.
As a striker, you'd love it. As a defender, not so good.
So as a striker, running with the ball in this type of weather, loved it. Slick pitch, knock the ball out your feet and run beyond it. As a defender, is it not quite so good?
Yeah, no, it's difficult, mate, because like I say, when you're challenging, when you're sort of like going for sliding tackles, basically, if you miss the ball, you've got to get the man, because if you don't, you're 10 yards away.
But isn't that an excuse almost then to the ref to say, look, it's a slick surface, I've slipped up, and you can use it as a bit of an excuse to be able to leave a mark on someone back in your day?
It never used to work, mate. It never used to work. But you just put your hand up, pull the opponent up as well. But it's difficult. As an attacker, it's lovely, you know what I mean, like I say, but sometimes passes skid on, you know what I mean, makes control difficult, technical ability needs to be seen today as well. So it's got all the makings for a great game, like you say, you know what I mean, Derby haven't won, they need a win, Norwich need to win, great surface, no wind, a little bit of drizzle, perfect day for football.
And quite a busy week for Norwich so far this week. You know, it's not over the line yet in terms of Ben Godfrey, but he's looking like he's moving on to Everton, which is, do you know what, for me, I think that's a great move for him in terms of his development, playing under Ancelotti. But Norwich done their business early. Yeah. You know, they've got 4 central defenders, Zimmerman, Closer, Hanley and Gibson, all in the building. So they've done their business early to be able to make sure that they've got cover in case this scenario happened.
Yeah, absolutely. You mean credit to Stuart Webber, credit to the manager, credit to all the scouting and recruitment team here. You mean they got the people in, and like you say, when an offer came in for Ben Godfrey, it wasn't a case of what do we do? You know what I mean? We can't sell him until we get a replacement. They had the replacements already in. And in Ben Gibson, I think they've got a really good replacement as well. So
and he starts today, of course, doesn't he? So he's in the team today alongside Zimmerman, who's the captain. And he'd been dying. He's been here 2 months now. As a player of his stature, where he's come from as well, he wants to be playing, but he's kind of bided his time, had to, because Ben Godfrey's done so well. Yeah. But it's up to him today now to make sure he produces. But he's been good at this level and higher.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like I said, when he's at Middlesbrough, you mean I watched him quite a bit, and he's got a lot of ability. You know what I mean? And a good defender. And like I say, for someone to stop Ben Godfrey to go, and for this guy to come in as a replacement, it's fantastic. Like I say, he has got experience playing in the Championship. He has got experience playing in the Premiership. So good age as well. Not as like at the highest level yet, 28. You know what I mean? So he's still got 2 or 3 years to go as well before that. So it's a great replacement.
Yeah, and we can hear from Daniel Farker now, who was speaking to us yesterday.
Yes, if I'm honest, it's difficult to be really focused on this game, because it doesn't affect just Ben Godfrey, who was, of course, in our plans also for the game, but of course the discussions and rumors and thoughts also distract a bit the players and the group of players, because it's of course a topic when out of surprise Ben Godfrey is not taking part in our team training this morning, although it was planned that he starts tomorrow against Derby. It of course has an effect without any doubt, and for that it's difficult to focus on it. But that's what we have to do, and this is our job, and that's why I always demand that everyone has to be there, fully switched on, fully concentrated, full of desire, and we can't afford that one player is there with 5% just in his thoughts away, and that's why I also said before the last game. So we'll always take late decisions who is involved in the games, because we just can need players who are really fully focused, fully disciplined, fully switched on, and full of desire to wear a yellow shirt. And
very honest stuff there from Daniel Farker. And here's Norwich City's lineup for today's game. We can see A few changes. Buendia's in the side. Obviously, Gibson comes in for Ben Godfrey. Hernandez still out there. Steepman in as well, playing behind Pukki. So, you know, it's not too far off what this team was in Championship before, is it?
No, absolutely. You mean, like I say, like we said, Gibson's a great replacement for Godfrey. Solid back five, that looks. Skip, I thought, did well against Preston when we watched him. You know, I mean, apart from giving the 2 goals away, but I think overall, as the game went on, he looks a real good potential player. Buendia coming in is good to see, because Buendia, I think something was missing in the Preston game, the last game we watched here. The creativity and someone who could create that killer pass for Pukki to run onto. So hopefully Buendia can do that today and show it today.
And there's been lots of talk about Buendia and Campbell during the week about how they've reacted in training. Now for me, I've been quite openly talked about this, and for me, it's like the kind of players they are. They're kind of maverick players. You know, they're creative on the pitch, and that's their personality, that's their edge. What makes them the quality they've got on the pitch. So it's not surprising that that's going to affect them in a different way compared to someone else off the pitch as well when there is rumours about. But Daniel Farke's done exactly the right thing and saying, hang on a sec, you play for Norwich City. The be-all and end-all is Norwich, and that's all that matters. You get your heads right, you'll play. If you don't, you won't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Daniel has done fantastic, like you say. These guys are difficult to manage. You know what I mean? They're match winners. You know what I mean? They can create that killer pass. They can go past 2 or 3 players. You know what I mean? There's not many of these in the Championship. You know what I mean? There's a few in the Premiership, but in the Championship, Norwich have got 2 of them. You know what I mean? So to be able to deal with it.
Does that make them a little bit more difficult to manage off the pitch? It does, doesn't it? Because we played with players like that, with creative ones, that actually were not so great off the pitch because, you know, they just had that personality. It was the way they were. What made them the player they were.
Yeah, absolutely. What they've got to realise is if they do the performances on the pitch, that not only helps Norwich be successful, but in time they will get a move. What they've got to realise is that Todd Campbell's come through the system here. You know what I mean? Like I say, he owes a lot to Norwich. Buendia playing in the 3rd division of Spain when he came here. Norwich, they owe Norwich a lot now, you know what I mean? So to stay here, basically, and get Norwich out of the Championships again, has got to be their first focus. And congratulate Daniel Farke, as you said in the last week. You know what I mean? The business has been done, whether that's the last bit of business, we don't know. But if these guys stay here after Monday, they have got to be 100% committed to Norwich.
And look on the big scheme of things as well. In terms of Norwich as a football club, the business they've done, right? They you know, no one's going to hide the fact it wasn't a great season last season defensively. Yet they've sold 2 players for 40 million plus, and you know, there's talk about other players that could go as well for even more money. That's impressive business by the football club to get that for players that actually didn't excel themselves last year, did they?
They didn't. But I thought they did okay, mate. You know what I mean? They didn't excel themselves, but we said time and time again after the lockdown came in. You mean you've got Aarons, you've got Lewis, and you've got Godfrey. They were 3 young boys thrust in. Go and play in the Premier League. You know what I mean? And you saw lots of good things. There was lots of bad things, which were down to inexperience.
And they're English as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know how important it is to have English players in the squad, but to have young English players in the squad. Lewis is in the national team. Ben Godfrey's in and around the under-23s. You know what I mean? Centre-halves, English centre-halves, there's not too many of them about at the moment.
And talking about English players, here's the Derby County team, and one name obviously jumps out straight away is Wayne Rooney, who's the captain today. And I mean, what a player he is. He's coming to the end of his career in terms of his playing career, but he wants to move into management. This is an important time for him as well, isn't it? Because he's developing and learning to be in the coaching side while still playing. How difficult can that be? Did you do a bit of player management?
Yeah,
how difficult is that? I know he's not managing as Koku is.
It's tough being player manager because not only getting stick as a player, you get stick as a manager as well. But he's doing it right, and it'd be interesting to see him today. His attitude, I would 100% he'd be vocal on the pitch. You know what I mean? And to have someone like him of his stature in your team, you can only learn from him. You know what I mean? And like I say, if he's got that like aura about him, which we all know he has, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He will go on and have a decent career in coaching, I reckon.
Well, let's hope he doesn't have a good one today.
No.
But anyway, let's take a little look back at the highlights from Bournemouth last weekend.
Patient on the edge of the box, trying to play it through. There's a chance here for Bournemouth. Slanky in the box, gets a shot away, good save, and then the follow-up goes wide. That was a really good save there by Tim Krul, and Norwich City nearly carved open. Just looks up and then dinks a ball out to Hernandez, who stayed onside. Right wing, he's driving towards the boxes. Hernandez, left-footed shot, good save by Begovic. Far left-hand side as we look at it. Billings tries to lay a ball in. There's 2 men there. There's a shot. That's a brilliant save by Tim Krul. What a save by Tim Krul. A header coming in at this far side and tipped round the side. I mean, it looked like it was into me.
Godfrey and Zimmerman between them do well to get the ball forward. It then goes towards McLean. Bad bounce though, and goes back to Bournemouth. Great turn by Dan Juma, who gets the shot away left-footed, and that's the opener. As a ball that Norwich City try and play from the back, and then goes to that danger man we mentioned earlier on, Dan Juma, who did a really good turn, gives it to himself essentially, and then uses that left foot to put it in the corner. Not much hope for Tim Krul, and it's Bournemouth 1, Norwich City 0. 30-40 yards out. Franchich tries to dink a ball over the top for Aarons. Can he deliver? Into Hugill, who gets something on it, and it goes into the hands of the goalkeeper. That might be Norwich City's last chance.
Okay, so it ended up in defeat on Sunday against Bournemouth. Sunday or Saturday? I can't remember. A long time ago. But we've got the stats from last year against Bournemouth in the Premier League. So we've just got into a couple of interesting stats just to show you. This is from in the Premier League last season. If you look at the dangerous attacks Norwich had, they had 53% possession of the ball, 39 dangerous attacks, lots of attacks from Bournemouth in the Premier League. Now, if we look at last week's game, Norwich, a lot more attacks, more possession. Bournemouth's attacks miles down. So you can see Norwich back in the Championship, and actually the change in both teams, but they still ended in defeat. But actually Norwich have created a lot more, but not got the result they wanted.
Yeah, and hopefully that's a sign to come. You know what I mean? Like I said, they were so dominant the year before in the Championship when they got when they won the league. So that's an encouraging stat, but they lost the game. They lost the game. We can't take it away from them. Lost the game and whatever. Like, both keepers seem to play well in that game and whatever. Like, but it's positive in that respect, and hopefully through the next few games and whatever they can do that. And once Pukki starts scoring and whatever, like, the goals will start coming.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to chat to a proper legend now through Zoom. Darren Huckabee's joining us. You there, Hucks?
Yeah, I'm here, boys. How are we doing?
Good to join. Thanks for joining us, mate. Now, how have you made it Norwich so far this season? Is it a little bit of a Premier League hangover? It takes a little bit of time to feel your feet and get into your stride again in the Championship?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very difficult when you come down, especially with all the defeats we had last season. But to start the season with 4 points, you know, it's not been exceptional, but it's not a bad start. So it's something to build on.
But big game for Norwich today, though, isn't it? Because they are playing Derby, who struggled. You know, they're sitting mid-table at the moment, Norwich. They need to win today. That home form is vitally important.
Yes, definitely. Especially the way Derby have started. You know, they've probably been one of the worst teams in the league, and you know they've got no confidence going through the team. So it's up to us to get at them. Obviously, we've been a bit indifferent with the players. Might be coming, players might be going. So it's important that we get 3 points today. And
what do you make of the squad as rotation at the moment? Because obviously they've prepared well, Norwich, haven't they, for the season upcoming? Because they've done their business early, because they were, you know, the threat of these players leaving, and some of them have started to go. So they've done their business early, so they should have enough players and enough quality in the squad to be competitive in this league.
Yeah, I think we've done our business early, but it's still difficult because, you know, as we've all played, and usually you have one player that might be leaving, and then you can account for that, but you know, we could have 5 players leaving, so it's very difficult to plan that far ahead. And like I say, I expect probably a bit more business before the transfer window shuts. But like I say, we've got plenty of players in backup ready to come in, and it's up to the manager to get the best out of the players he's got.
I can see Lindsay was hanging around in the background there as well. Did she want to get on camera? She was trying to give it. Do you want to get in there? Is she going to come in or not and say hello?
No, she wants to be the star. She wants to be the star, don't she? But she can't be. She's got. I think she's doing some washing. I think. I don't know.
Mate, look, thanks for joining us. We're going to speak to you again at half time. I know you've got a bit of a Zorb challenge against Holty for us. We're going to see that at half time.
Yeah, it was like fighting a beer. It was like fighting a beer. That's all I can say.
All right, mate. Top man. We'll see you then.
See you in a bit.
Cheers, mate. Again, very honest from Hucks, isn't it? You know, he knows he's basically said Derby have been really poor this season, so it's a vital time for Norwich to be able to try and get that result. They have to. The home game against the team who are basically bottom of the league. Yeah. It's a game not a must win at this stage of the season, but certainly if you're going to put a marker down to be up there at the start throughout the season, you've got to win today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 4 points Norwich have got from the games they've played so far. 3 games. Bournemouth have got 12 points. You know what I mean? That's a big gap already. So they need to win today to make sure they can stay in touch with that top team in the league. But like Darren says, you know what I mean, there has been transition. You know what I mean, he seems to think there might be some more outgoings and ingoings as well. I don't think so. I think Norwich have got a good squad now. You know what I mean? They've got good backup in most positions now as well. They've got players that can win games. They've got players to create as well. So they've got everything. So I don't know whether they will be any more business.
Yeah, and Norwich have got some really good history against Derby County. Here's a flashback.
takes it quickly, releases Tierney from the byline on the left, gets the cross in, Jackson's header! Yes, for Norwich City! Simeon Jackson, Norwich's form striker, does it again! He's played the ball into the Norwich area, and it's a header goal as it's there from Davis! And it changes again at the top of the table because Norwich have been pegged back. Sermon, it's had a quiet game for him this afternoon, but he's got the ball now. Up to Holt, edge of the penalty area, to Simeon Jackson, curling effort! Wonderful goal! Simeon Jackson has his second of the afternoon, and that was absolutely brilliant! Derby are coming forward. Bueno, 25 yards from goal, low shot, it's there, it's 2-2! Lansbury's corner, it's gone all the way through, shots! Blocked on the line, but it's going to go in! It's going to go in! Simeon Jackson completes his hat-trick in stoppage time, and it's out of chaos at Carrow Road! Norwich 3, Derby 2, and Jackson completes his hat-trick! Wow! We've had some dramatic finishes at Carrow Road this season! That takes the biscuit! 3-2, Norwich are staying second! What about that, Neil Adams?
You beauty, you absolute beauty! Time's up, the place is going bananas, and Norwich have won the game!
By any Norwich City fan not to get goosebumps watching that back. Great times, isn't it?
No, it's unbelievable. Great. Chris Gorham and Neil Adams there, like, yeah, I mean, just go to show, and you see the fans as well. Great reaction.
Yeah, and actually we've got the main man himself involved in that clip speaking to us now. Simeon Jackson's going to join us. Simeon, thanks for joining us, mate. I know you haven't had a chance to watch that, but you've probably watched it a million times over and had it probably shown to you a million times over. I mean, how did that feel? How did that feel? I mean, it's a really special moment in an iconic point in Norwich's history.
Yeah, and obviously mine as well. You know, it was just an amazing time. It was a great day. Obviously, getting a hat trick as well, and what it meant for everyone at the club it's just amazing. And yeah, every time you do watch it and hear about it, you do get a bit of a rush.
And back to current days, Simeon. I mean, what have you made of Norwich City so far? You know, they've played 3 games so far this season: 1-1 drawn, 1 lost one. It's really time. They need to kind of find their feet back in the Championship. You know, they've kind of bedded in now, haven't they? You'd expect after 3 or 4 games to really sort of start getting into that area where they need to be up near the top of the table.
Yes and no. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's been a tough start. You know, with and just the year. You know how it's gone. Everyone, you know, we all know, and the effect it's having on clubs. And you know, here with with Norwich, I think a bit of maybe the hangover from last season, and obviously a lot of transition with players coming in and a few leaving. So yeah, it's you know, it's going to take time for everyone to bed in and settle in. And I wouldn't look too much into you know the results so far, but you just hope the boys can get it right and start to get points on the board.
Yeah, and I think we all know there's better to come. But you mentioned it there, a whole new group of players coming in. I think they signed 11 players in the summer. Well, even the summer, I say, like 4 to 6 weeks basically they've had to turn over. How difficult is that as a group of players to start to gel together so quickly? Because it normally takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's a few players that were there, obviously, you know, from the last few campaigns. So, you know, it's going to be, you know, up to them as a dressing room as well to make these boys feel welcome. And, you know, for the players themselves that have come in to, you know, find their feet and you know, bed themselves in. So that takes time, obviously. So, you know, you're not expecting miracles straight away.
But they have forgot the importance of, you just mentioned there again, you know, they've got Zimmerman, they've got Closer, they've got Max Aarons, you know, Tim Krul have all played at this level and been successful at this level. So they've still got that core group there to actually kind of understand the Championship, and those other new players that come in, they can feed off that.
Exactly. It's massively important in every dressing room and every team. And, you know, Norwich have got that, you know, with those players that we mentioned. So, yeah, you just hope, you know, the boys can gel together as quick as they can and start to get points on the board.
And tell me about Simeon Jackson. What's he up to these days? What are you doing with yourself?
Good question. Doing stuff like this. But yeah, still staying fit. Waiting to sign for my new club. So just ticking over and waiting to see what the next challenge is for me.
Was that a bit of exclusive? Have you got one lined up? Can you tell us about it, or is it still secret?
No, not as yet. There's been talks here and there, but it's just been a testing time, you know, challenging time. You know what's going on. So yeah, it's making it a lot difficult for players that are out of contract. But yeah, you just keep going and it'll turn when it does, and just make sure you're ready for it.
Brilliant. Well, I manage Leicester now, so if you need a game, you're quite welcome to come down and bang a few in for us, mate.
Might give me a ring, mate.
I'll be on the phone. Don't worry about that, mate. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at half-time.
Cheers, see you after.
So, and that's difficult as well, isn't it? He's still a fit lad. He's still a young enough lad to be able to play at that level. And it's difficult. But is it been more difficult in these current times for players to move around and find a club? Because clubs are tightening their belts a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think if you were a player out of contract, I mean, it's going to be tough times, like you said there, and whatever. Like I mean, and understandably, I mean, clubs are watching the situation closely. I mean, they're letting players go rather than adding players to the squad. I mean, in a roundabout way, it's going to give younger players in the academies more chances throughout the leagues outside of the Premier League. But it's a tough situation. And babe, that's going to cost you a few quid now as well.
Isn't it? I'll take him though, would you? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it's got a few goals for you, mate. Yeah.
Exactly. And the last game we were here, we talked a little bit about to Sam Byram about how the lads have gelled, and Simeon's mentioned a little bit there. Now we've got a little bit of footage from Anel Hernandez here talking about his roommate. Take a look at this.
And on an unrelated note, I'm sure you saw last week Tim Krul say that he wouldn't share a room with you. I thought we'd give you the right to reply to that.
You know, everyone has his own opinion to that, and I think I would be a great room partner because I could entertain you always. And I don't know what went wrong with Tim on that day. He woke up, I don't know, wrong, or I don't know, even know with the wrong step first, and I don't know. It's how it is. I don't have nothing bad to say against him. He's a great guy, and I love him, and that's why. So it is.
Maybe for the next away trip, then you two will be sharing a room.
I hope so. I try my best. I tell Johnny, our man that organized the rooms, that he let me in a room with him, and then I will show him that it's not so bad.
I wonder which one's the big spoon and the little spoon. What do you reckon? Krul's got to be the big spoon, isn't he? Yeah. Absolutely. No, look, we've all had nightmare roomies. My first roomie at Norwich was Chris Sutton, and he was like a tramp. Honestly, you go in there like a bomb had gone off in the room. It's disgusting. So I felt quite at home being next to him. But you any sort of particular memories of roommates?
Gussie was my one from here and whatever. Brilliant. We used to do press-ups before we went to bed and sit-ups and whatever. Like, I mean, he did about 50, I did one.
So we could have a whole show on Gossie, couldn't we? He was very demanding, wasn't he, Gossie? Was with his playing days.
Good friend of mine. I mean, one of the best friends I've had in football. I mean, like I say, when I came here, it's like I was vying for his place really. So it was really nice that we gelled as well. So yeah, to room with him and whatever. Like some people didn't want to room with him, obviously, because he's got like the hardest headlock in football. I mean, but mate, listen, I've got a great relationship with him. We've got some great tales to tell. I mean, like I say, over the next few years and whatever, or programs. But he was a good roomie. I mean, like I say, but it was a good fitness workout for me.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we can drag a few of those stories out of him now, because he's joining us now. Gossie, the legend that is. Here he is. He looks so sweet and innocent there, but we know a very different Jeremy Goss, don't we? Gossie, just tell us a few. We haven't got time for all those stories, but back in those days, yeah, you were. How can I say, a difficult roomie, I would say.
No. That's exaggeration. I can't believe you're talking about me like this in this way. It's terrible. Look, I talk about roommates. I roomed with Mick Shannon, and he wasn't very good. I mean, we're talking way back in the 80s now, but that was a horrendous roommate. Ian Crook, he used to smoke 10 fags before he went to sleep. But definitely one of the worst is Rob Newman. It has to be.
Worst?
For the simple fact, he can only do one press up before we go to bed. I wanted to do chins off the ceiling and everything, but...
To be fair, Gossie, back in the day as well, see, I roomed with Rob not that long ago. Only one night, I couldn't take any more. The snoring. Did he snore back in the day? He was horrendous.
No, dreadful. Just the worst. You can't... I got about an hour's sleep every night with Rob Newman.
All right, let's get off that. We can spend all night talking about that. So let's talk about Norwich at the moment, Gossie. You've seen a little bit of them so far this season. What have you made of them?
It's been you can only describe as an average start, really. 1-1, lost one, drawn one, mid-table type of form. A lot of players coming in at the club, some moving away, so the manager's got a lot of playing around with the squad, a lot of gelling in of different types of players. But today's the day where it's a great opportunity to beat this Derby team that's lack of confidence. And in fact, I've just seen Wayne Rooney, who's warming up on the pitch here. doing a bit of shooting practice, and he smacked 3, one after the other, over the bar and into the stand. So if that means anything, then let him take that form in today's game. I think there's no doubt about it. Hernandez gives great pace. Stiepermann, I believe we missed last season, so I hope for better things this year from him. But Buendia is the match winner. He wasn't right, mentally correct in terms of his attitude for the Bournemouth game, but he suddenly is for today's Derby game. But we won't mind. He's a great player and pleased to have him in the team.
Yeah, and you mentioned a bit about the start about how it's taken Norwich a little bit of time to get set. Is that quite normal at the start of the season because of all the changes and the transfer window still being open? Everything's a little bit uncertain at the moment. Once that shuts and you're into the sort of bulk of the season, I guess, then you see the real form from Norwich because they can be better. We've seen some glimpses already of how good they can be.
No, we can, and we know that today they'll dominate ball possession. The ball retention that they've included in this side since Daniel Farke's come along has been exceptional. We just haven't got that cutting edge up front, and also we haven't got the time to settle in. When you look at Bournemouth and Bristol and Reading, they don't want to take off too far away from us, and so today's the day we've got to capitalise on a lack of confidence in the Derby team. Let's try and work better up front, let's be explosive, use pace, create chances and see if we can get Pukki scoring goals again.
And that's vital, isn't it? Goal scorers in the Championship. They scored loads of goals in the Championship last year. I mean, we're only 3 games in, but Pukki still has a little bit of a hangover from last season in terms of his goal scoring. But he needs those chances created for him, doesn't he?
Exactly right. He can't be up front on his own, and that's why I mentioned Stiepermann, because when I saw him in the Championship several seasons back, he was the one who was linking firstly to get into the box, to get close to Pukki, to work alongside him, work with him, as well as working back in the midfield zones. So he does need that support and he does need that service.
Good. Thanks, mate. Teams are in the tunnel. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks for joining us, mate. Go and do a few press-ups.
Here we go.
Look, just talked a bit about Derby County's form there. They haven't won a game so far this season, so they're going to have to come here firing, aren't they? They need something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you say, great day for football, great pitch. You know what I mean? Like they will sort of like want to win the game today, obviously. But if they don't, what that does, that keeps them down there and it pushes Norwich further away from them, because sooner or later in the season, Derby have got to start producing performances. They're too big a club not to. So for Norwich to win this game today, hopefully is putting a marker down for the rest of the division as well.
So where's the expectations then? Is this a game that Norwich are expected to win? Because on the strength of it, you think Derby are a better side than the form they're showing at the moment, surely?
100%. You know what I mean? Like I say, they've got players in there. You've got Rooney in the team. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, they've got no points, basically. So Norwich will see this as a game they not must win, but they're expected to win. Coming down from the Premier League, got good players on the pitch. They're at home. They've started reasonably well. You know what I mean? Did all right at Bournemouth last week. So this game, really, they're expecting to win.
Yeah, and they're getting possession, and you do feel your way with new players, but players that aren't you, you've got Buendia and Pukki back in the side today. Obviously, Buendia's back in the side today. That's that creativity for Pukki, because he needs that, doesn't he? He needs someone to feed off. He's not someone who's going to pick the ball up, run 40, 50 yards and score one individually. He's an 18-yard box player.
Yeah, like I say, Buendia, I just hope he's not going to stay out on the right wing. He needs to come into that central 10 position. You know what I mean? And it might be him, Stiepermann, Hernandez just swapping positions just behind Pukki. So he needs to be in that middle, in the number 10 position, so he can slide real passes through.
Here, Daniel Farke, I think, was believed as saying that Stiepermann is the best number 10 in the Championship this week. Is that? Do you agree with that? But you take his stats out from the Championship last time. He was superb for Norwich in the Championship.
I'm not going to say it. Number 10 for me is not someone who's going to get tackles or whatever. The number 10 is about assists. You know what I mean? Now you can tell me how many assists Stiepermann had. I don't know if you can or not. Obviously you can. But number 10 for me is assists. Is a David Silva, a Kevin De Bruyne. The ones that not long passes, little 5, 6, 10-yard passes beyond the defence and whatever. And for me, Stiepermann's not that player. Buendia's more of a number 10 now. But I might be proved wrong, because someone somewhere will get the assists. Yeah. What he did when he was number 10.
Well, we'll hear from you again at half-time. We're going to have the Zorb Challenge at half-time. We'll see you then.
4 goals they let in last week.
I've been swimming at night. She's been calling to me. Hold my breath in the pool, but she's been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right. Can't forget what she said. When you're finished with you, babe, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. She's been living a dream. There's a blanket of cool water. She's been cultivated in the space in between. Could be chasing a ghost, another crease in the waves. With all the truth in my blue colors, she just gave me something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. Something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. slowly, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly, we're facing backwards again. So slowly, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly, we're facing backwards again. Hold my breath in the pool, but she been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right. Can't forget what you said. When you finish with you, baby, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. She been living a dream. There's a blanket of cool water. She been cultivated in the space in between. Could be chasing a ghost, another creature in waves. With all the truth in my blue colors, she just give me something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. Something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. slowly, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly, we're facing backwards again. So slowly, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly, we're facing backwards again.
Well, it remains 0-0 at half-time, Rob. Half-decent performance by Norwich. They've had good possession. Looked to thread a few balls. I think Wendy has been certainly on form in that first half. Not quite coming off for them so far at the minute, but it's been okay.
Yeah, no, it's been positive, I think, in terms of offensive plays, and like I say, when Diaz like slighted some through to Pukki and whatever, and that's what you're looking to see.
Just keep trying those because they will come off. The amount of times you keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been passes through, and 9 times out of 10, the way Derby are defending in numbers, it's not like it's through Ivan Eadles, but they've got the ability to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like a couple of times they nearly came off, but I just think they've got to move the ball a bit quicker when they turn it over. Derby are defending deep, so when Derby do attack and Norwich win possession, forward passes maybe a bit quicker rather than side passes because it allows Derby to recover.
Yeah, but Derby are, I mean, as you can see here, so Norwich are up this end. Derby are basically sitting as a 5, aren't they?
Yeah, no,
3 at the back, you know, with a 5 essentially across that back here, making it really difficult. But what they are doing, even that 5 is really narrow. They're quite happy for Quintilia and a Max Aarons to pick the ball up and deliver balls into the box because Norwich haven't really got anyone with any presence or height to be able to get on the end of those decent crosses.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there with Evans and especially Curtis and whatever. I mean, they have 3 big, strong central defenders, and they can defend the box well. They defend crosses and whatever. So the quality's got to be better. Decision making's got to be better as well because maybe rather than just play it into the box, maybe a little pull back to the edge of the penalty area as well. So Derby have done their homework. Obviously, they want to defend deep. They're under pressure. A point will be good for Derby, but I think there's a lot of positives for Norwich. I've been impressed with Gibson as well at centre half as well. I think he's done really well. But in terms of offensive play, they've had a lot of ball. You know what I mean? But I just think maybe a few passes quicker forward rather than 10-yard passes side just to shift the ball. Because if they do that, then I think they will. The spaces that they receive the ball in will be bigger.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hear from Gossi now as well. Gossi, you're out in the gantry. What have you made of that first half? Do you think Derby are coming here with a point in mind?
Yeah, absolutely right. And I agree with what Rob said there about the back 5. It's a tough unit to break down. There's a lot of players to get through. I think you're right. I think we've got to counter-attack quicker. I think Quintilla is the out ball all the time. Him and Hernandez are linking up very, very well. And they need to deliver the ball deeper when we cross. I think there's no need to get to the byline and then cross the ball. I think if Quintilla and Max Aarons can cross from a deeper position, we're going to catch the centre-halves out. The runners behind the full-backs and defenders has been excellent. I think Stiepermann, certainly Buendia, making great runs. If anything, they're getting in the way of Pukki, playing too narrow, all 3 of them around each other together. Maybe just spread out that little bit more and give more space for each other. But overall, I can only see Norwich scoring here. I think defensively, we've coped very, very well.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? It's kind of a matter of time before Norwich gets some opportunities. I know they've not made Marshall make a save of any real meaning yet, but they're in and around the 18-yard box. They have had some good possession. You do feel as if it's a matter of time before they're getting some good chances.
I think, well, we saw there with Pukki when early on in the game, first 10 minutes, he again drifted off the shoulder of the defender. Fantastic little run of his, great little ball in. And I actually thought he would take another touch and have a go at goal himself. He didn't. He squared it for Hernandez to come through and just didn't get hold of the ball, and he ended up in the net himself instead of the ball. But it's good signs from Norwich. There's great movement, great positivity, and like you've just said, I think Buendia looks superb.
And defensively, we look pretty strong as well. As Rob has said, Ben Gibson looks pretty tight in that back 4 alongside Zimmerman. They haven't had too much to deal with, to be fair, but it looks good so far.
No, it looks fine. It looks fine. I think the full-backs either side are the ones you got to watch because we're going full forward all the time with accelerating going forward, full-backs and wide guys for us. If it does break down quickly, then sometimes we get caught out and lose track of runners. But look, in terms of the 2 centre-halves, they've got all the time in the world to play the ball. If anything, let's move it quicker, do things faster, get a bit sharper. Let's see what happens this second half.
And Norwich have got options on the bench, Gossi, as well. They've got some good players they can bring on if they want to change things. But at the moment, it seems as if you expect Farke to start the second half the same way he finished it.
Yeah, who knows? We may see Mr. Hugel come on and make an appearance as a big, strong, physical player to get his head on the ball from across maybe. Yeah, there will be changes, I'm sure. But the lads are working hard. They're getting back defensively very, very well. Even Pukki's dropping back so deep defensively. But I agree with Rob. We've got to counter-attack faster.
Top man, Gossie. Thanks for joining us again. So you said it there. You know, we're kind of on the same page with this, aren't we? You know, do you think Derby can approach the second half differently because they're coming here for a point, but actually, you know, there is signs there for them. If they're in the game now, they're still in the half time. Would they settle in for a point? You think?
I'm pretty sure they'll settle for a point. If they leave here today with a point, that will be a good result for Derby County. And like I say, Norwich have to be careful because Rooney's not as quick as he was, and sharp, but he's clever. His ball retention, his touches on the ball were pretty impressive. And he had that one chance where he's miscued the left foot volley. But like I say, they've got to be careful. And like Gossie's just said there, with the fullbacks pushing on, they've got decent pace up front as well. The two, the lad playing just off of Rooney's got decent pace. So we don't want to give him opportunities to run to channels where the spaces are, where the fullbacks are too high up the pitch. But it's been positive, you know what I mean? Like I say, there's not a lot. The only negative is that Norwich haven't scored. They haven't created. You know what I mean? There was once when the cross came in, I thought Pookie was going to flick it towards goal, and he's tried to flick it back in. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I say, so the signs are he's coming back. When Diaz on the ball is looking a threat, you know what I mean? If he can get. There's too many times when he's receiving the ball, there's too many people around him, you know what I mean? And that's where it's important to pass that ball forward rather than sideways maybe. And like I say, but he's got the ability to slide those passes into Pookie.
Okay, well, it's not great weather here today, but have you ever wished of winning a holiday to Tampa Bay, Florida? Take a look at this.
Right, gents, let's have you both back on the goal lines, please. I'll do a countdown, and then it's a free-for-all. Your 2 minutes starts in 3, 2, 1, go!
Proper 2 minutes.
What's going on? Just got to help him up.
I should score.
You get the ball and play it. We'll wait till he's up again.
His pace will not help him in this.
Are we doing 3 games?
You
might be over already. All right, gents, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh no!
Play on.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
It's 1-0. 1-0 to Graham Hull.
My God, my knees killing.
All right, here we go again. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Scoop.
There's no way round Graham Hull at the moment.
Oh no!
Get in! Get in! Ah, it's 2-0.
I can't move him.
2-0. Run on. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh no.
Play on, play on.
Stop shouting, oh no.
Just past the halfway stage.
Oh.
2-1.
Being nice to me, lads. Look after me a little bit there, boys. Got to give him one job, he's down, look at me.
Okay, the score is 2-1 to Grant Hull. There are just over 30 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1, go!
What's going on?
Gotta be.
God, can get up.
You can't get up.
Oh, he's nice.
Oh, just wrong touch. Ten seconds.
Ah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game over.
He's too strong, he's too strong. I don't mind a 2-1 defeat. Surely that'll do.
Even though you're not in the stadium, the Tampa Bay halftime challenge is still on. Visit the website, Norwich City, see what it's all about, look at the terms and conditions and it'll explain everything. get involved for that fantastic opportunity to go to Tampa Bay with your family for the best holiday you're ever going to have. Good luck, everyone. Sign up.
Well, absolute men against boys, wasn't it? I mean, that first tackle.
Hux has got in the weights, definitely.
Yeah.
Or Holt's been involved in wrestling. He's put a few pounds on.
I mean, noticed Hux was in the yellow zorb and Holt was in the blue and white. So that, there might be contention there.
Maybe.
Yeah. But look, if you want to get involved and win a holiday to Tampa Bay, then look at the website below. Get yourself in touch with that, and you can have the chance to win a fantastic holiday to Tampa Bay. And we're going to speak to Hux now, just to talk us through that. Hux, are you there? Here he comes. Here he is. We didn't hear that, mate. We can't hear you. We can't hear you at the minute. Have you got your volume turned off? That's it. We got you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, got you now, mate. Talk us through it. What happened?
Yeah, you got me. I'm giving away 5 stone. It's just like you trying to play against Rob and just bash you all over the place. It's impossible.
Absolutely blowing as well by the end of that. It looks like it was tough work, wasn't it?
Was only meant to have one 20-second game. Was there for like 15 minutes. It was a joke. Too hard that was.
You know what it's like though. They always tell you things like that, Hux, and then get you to do more. You know what it's like.
I just wanted to have a race, that's all. Just a 20-minute race, that'll do. Let's have a fight with Grant Hole, that was good.
Brilliant. And look, back on today's game. Norwich has done well first half, haven't they? Without really creating too many chances and making David Marshall make any real saves of any note.
Yeah, for all our possession and all the good areas we got in, especially down the sides, we weren't clinical enough. Probably end pass wasn't good enough, but like I said, we were the better team. Derby didn't really offer much in the game, so second half, if we just pick it up a little bit, pick a pass better, get the wide men getting at people a bit more, I think there's 3 points in this game for us.
And is that credit to Derby, the way they've set up? They've done their homework. They know that Norwich can get into wide areas, and they're quite happy for them to deliver the ball into the box from wide areas, because Norwich haven't really got any kind of big strength in the central areas to finish off those crosses from height. So is that good play by Derby, you think?
Yeah, it's good play by Derby, but you've got to get Hernandez one-on-one going at people in the box, not always crossing the ball. Make the defender do something. Go past somebody, get to the byline, pull it back. I still think there's a bit for us to do, but it's good that a team like Derby have come to us and literally basically said, let's defend and try and nick a 1-0 or a draw. So things looking good, but we've got to pick it up a little bit.
And when Diaz obviously reacted well to the sort of criticism during the week, hasn't he? He's been really effective in that central area, created little things. He's putting his foot in as well, and he's that one that can hold the key a little bit, isn't he? Someone who can do something a little bit different.
Yeah, he's definitely. He's probably the most exciting player on the pitch. He's already been booked. That's a bit of a worry. He's made one tackle, he's been booked once, so he's got to be a bit careful that way. But we all know how good a player he is. But he's got to step up. He's the one that all the other players look to make something happen. So. It's up to him, it's up to Hernandez to make things happen and get us chances on goal, because for all our good play and all our possession, we've only had one shot on target.
Yeah, and we've managed to get Simeon just on very quickly before we go back out for the second half. Simeon, you've been impressed how Norwich have done so far without really scoring a goal?
Yeah, great start. Obviously Norwich have been the better team with the ball, but then Derby defended well. They got 5 across the back, and as Hux was saying, it's going to be up to the players that can that good to creative players that we got on the team, like Bendia and the other boys, and especially out wide as well. I think trying to put more crosses in the box to try and test the defence. But Derby have done well, so we'll see how it turns out.
And as a centre forward as well, you'd love to play with players like Buendia and Stiepermann and Hernandez and having the width of Quintia and Max Aarons, because they do create stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, you're going to get chances eventually. It's just Derby have defended well. They're making it difficult down the middle. So I think just focus more a bit out wide and just try and vary it a bit more and try and get more cross in the box. But we'll see. I think it's going to come down to a mistake one way or the other. But it's definitely a tight game.
Brilliant. Simeon, we're going to see you at the end of the game. Thanks for joining us. And Hux, good luck to your boy this afternoon playing at Wroxham. Enjoy the game. See you soon, boys.
Enjoy the boys. 1-0 win. Let's do it.
I've no idea what he said at the end there. Well, I think he thinks Norwich are going to win, but he's off. Yeah, but the teams are coming back out for the second half. Quick one from you, Rob. Do you see Norwich winning this game?
Yes, Norwich seem to be the only team that's going to win this. I think it's going to be a creativity from a Buendia or a Stiepermann and whatever, and fingers crossed Pukki could score a goal.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, enjoy the second half. We'll see you then.
doing at night. She been calling on me. Hold my breath in the pool, but she been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right. Can't forget what she said. When you finish with you, baby, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The weight of my heart is the weight of the sea. She been living a dream. There's a blanket of cool water. She been cultivated in the space in between. Could be chasing a ghost, another crease in the waves. With all the truth in my blue colors, she just give me something I could never replace. The weight of my heart is the weight of the sea. Something I could never replace. The weight of my heart is the weight of the sea. Remember why slowly, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly, we're facing backwards again. So slowly, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly, we're facing backwards again. Yes, it's only you. And I say I'm very satisfied with been swimming at night. She been calling to me. Hold my breath in the pool, but she been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right. Can't forget what she said. When you're finished with you, baby, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The way that my heart is, the way that the sea. She been living a dream. There's a blanket of cool water. She been cultivated in the space in between. Could be chasing a ghost, another crease in the waves. With all the truth in my blue colors, she just give me something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that I see. Something I could never replace. The way that my heart is, the way that I see. Remember why Yes, it's only, 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 only you. And I say I'm very satisfied with those
Well, the master once again didn't have the greatest of games. I'm sure his leadership on the pitch was really good, but when it matters, the moments, big moments in games, big players stand up. And Wayne Rooney again with another trademark free kick. Almost robs Norwich of at least a point. Timo Pukki had a great opportunity from the penalty spot, slips as he hits the ball. See, with his head in his hands there, really disappointed. And disappointing for Norwich, really disappointing for Norwich, because they deserved at least something from this game and end up coming away from home with absolutely nothing. So disappointing, Rob, isn't it? Because they've had chances. We said Max Aarons probably should have scored on the volley. Yeah. Good save by David Marshall. Yeah. Hugo's had a fantastic header at the end. Wonderful save by David Marshall. Yeah. But you can't then give Wayne Rooney a free kick just outside the 18-yard box, can you? An opportunity to get... They've had nothing all game. No. One opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, shows his class. He's been a top player. You know what I mean? And it was a fantastic goal. But it was a kick in the teeth, because sort of like there was no way Norwich was going to lose the game. They were causing no problems in open play. You know what I mean? And like I say, that's all Wayne Rooney lives for. I think now in and around that box, he took all the free kicks. Quality on the ball was top drawer on the deliveries. But I think the penalty miss was like a bit of a turning point, because I think if Norwich would have scored it, I think it would have gone on and scored 2 or 3. It gave Derby that lift, basically, thinking, well, sometimes, you know, it's like when you're playing away and say, we ain't going to lose today. You know what I mean? We're quality. We've had a massive bit of fortune here, him slipping over. You know what I mean? Worst we're going to get is a point. You know what I mean? Like I said, we've defended as a unit really well. You know what I mean? But it's such a disappointing one, because no, there was positives, definitely positives in the performance today.
And we're going to look at the possession stats before even seeing them before. We're not going to look at them now, but I can guarantee the possession stats are going to be right up there again. But it's about goals and actually shots on target, because we haven't seen a great deal today, considering the possession. If you look at the possession side, it's going to be massive without actually too much outcome at the end of it.
Yeah, it was all sort of like trying little triangles, little link-up plays, touches around the corners, just outside of Derby's box. You know what I mean? And sometimes they come off, and the penalty came from one such move.
66% against 34 is fairly hefty, but they've not had a great deal of opportunities. You know, it's good. But then you have to commend sometimes the opposition. Derby came with a game plan today. They executed it perfectly. Got a little bit lucky in terms of goalkeeper making some great saves for them, and nicked one at the end.
And I think what you have to do then, you said Hugo came on, and it was a different dimension for the fullbacks to hit. They had a target to hit, and like you say, from one of those such balls was a great header and a fantastic save. Maybe could have been introduced earlier, because Derby was so dominant from crosses. The 3 centre halves, a big 6 foot plus centre halves, clearing crosses and whatever. So put someone in there who gives them a real threat. You know what I mean? And fullbacks can put them in from deeper areas. Don't go to the byline. Hit like little diagonal balls in there, and then you get rebounds off him.
Yeah, and talking about rebounds off him, and somebody who's perfect arriving in the box with rebounds off someone like Hugo was Jeremy Goss. Yeah. Made an absolute career out of it. Goss, I mean, we've just talked about Hugo there and the threat he had to come on for 10 minutes, and you know, I know you're nearer the end of the game and you probably are a little bit more direct, but he gave another dimension to Norwich, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I think he always will. That his stature, his ability to hold the ball up, his strength and his aggression will do, because Norwich haven't got a player of that ilk in the squad. I just feel the frustration is felt up here in the gantry, I can assure you of that, but it seems as though Norwich haven't got a plan B, or they're too scared to go for a plan B. The possession is wonderful, ball retention is great, the little nicks around the corner, wonderful to watch sometimes, but no end product, no end result. And I think they need to change it earlier when these things happen. And it will happen a lot in the Championship, where teams will defend as resilient as what Derby did today. And they've gone ahead and nicked it at the end with a class strike from a free kick from a world-class player. But the game should have been done by then. David Marshall's pulled 2 remarkable saves out of the top drawer, especially again Max Aarons' volley at the end there. And the penalty was... It's just a farce, really, when you see something like that happen. It's typical that a player looking for confidence does that type of thing in Pukki. What can you say about it? It's over and done with and you move on. But we should have capitalised on all the possession we had. We should have created more chances that we didn't do. And we need that plan B. And maybe Hugo is that man to give us that extra dimension.
And is it a plan B in terms of changing the system and mixing things up? Or is it, for me, I was kind of thinking, on a day like this, in the slick surface, difficult for goalkeepers to judge. No one's really had any shots from distance, and I don't mean from 35, 40 yards. There are lots of possession around the 18-yard box. Sometimes you've got to hit one through bodies and it will go in.
Yeah, we talked about it up here through the game over the 90-minute period that we're too pretty. We're trying to play around the corners and pass the ball in the net, whereas where are those strikes from outside the box? You know, your 20, 25-yard strikes. And as you've just mentioned, any ricochets could happen. And it's trying different things. And players been a little bit more daring by going forward a bit more. I thought Max held back a little bit. I thought he could have got forward a lot more in terms of his ability and his the crossing ability, surely, that he possesses. He could have got forward a lot more and got things earlier on into the box. The same with the other side. You don't have to go back to the bylines to cross the ball, as I mentioned at halftime. Numbers in the penalty box got confusing around Pukki. It got too tight, it got too messy, and we needed that width, and we needed to bring Derby players out of the zone to come around the back of them possibly. But we've got to try different things, and I think players have got to be more daring in going forward and trying different things around the penalty area.
Gossie, you absolute legend. Thank you for joining us today, mate. Take care and we'll speak to you soon.
It's a pleasure.
I mean, he's mentioned there again, we talked about being a little bit one-dimensional at times, but they do have a game plan. As a manager, you want your team to stick to your game plan. But is that then down to individuals at times to say, do you know what, I'm going to have a shot. I'm not going to try and flick one through. I'm not going to play this way. Well, I'm going to try something a little bit different. Is there a lack of that in the Norwich side, perhaps a little bit, where they're a bit reluctant to kind of take their own beliefs on board and think, I want to do this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Is like Gossie's just said there, you've got to back yourself to have a shot. Be confident in doing it. I mean, don't be afraid to miss. You know what I mean? Because like 9 times out of 10, you'll hit the target. And like you said, deflections as well. It's pure football. You look at it now and it's trying to be pure football, little tippy-tappies around corners and whatever, and slide in. That doesn't happen. When you get a team like Derby, big and strong, powerful, you know what I mean, like not won a game all season, they ain't going to let you do that. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you say like one-dimensional, Hugo comes on earlier. Basically, you saw it in the last, however long he was on the pitch, 10 minutes. Yeah. It was a threat. You know what I mean? Max Aarons didn't have to go to the byline. When he got the ball, he wasn't having to wait for those little intricate passes around the corners or down the sides. He was opening his body, looking at the far post. Hugo was there, one ball in the far post. It's knockdowns. It makes things happen from one ball into the box.
Yeah, and we're joined by Simeon Jackson again now. Simeon, looking at from a striker's point of view, in terms of confidence, Timo Pukki, you know, he wants to take that. He wants to score and get off the mark for the season. But is there a case to be said, well, actually, if he's struggling with a little bit of confidence, perhaps he shouldn't be the one taking a penalty?
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Like, you know, it unfortunately slipped. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, you fancy him to put that in the back of the net, and that will spur him on. And, you know, that could lead to him going on a run and getting a couple of goals and hitting form. So it's one of them. It's unfortunate. But, you know, I think, like we're saying, you know, there's a lot of positives there from today. I mean, if I was being overcritical, I think Jordan Hugo's a massive part, as we're speaking about there. You know, he gives you something else. And I think, you know, you'd like to have seen him come in earlier and change the game a bit more. And that's what the championship's about. You know, it's going to be a bit scrappy at times, and you're going to have to, you know, mix in and need people with that presence. So, you know, I think up front, they're going to might take a while to find their feet, but, you know, it would have been great for Pukki to put that away and change the game. I think Norwich would have kicked on after that. And then a moment of brilliance from Wayne.
And you tell me, Simon, you know how many goals you scored in your career. How many of those were kind of the perfect goals, those pretty goals? And how many did you score were coming off your shin bone, off your back of your leg or something, or hitting a shot between defenders' legs? You know, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of that going on from Norwich. You know, they kind of want to score these perfect-looking goals every time they go forward.
Yeah, and it's annoying. It's annoying watching it because, you know, they can do it, and they've done it, and they've showed, and, you know, they've matched up with the tops in the Premier League, but then, you know, that the pretty stuff is great when it comes off. But then days like today, you know, the bit of brilliance that led to the penalty was brilliant. You know, they might have tried that 10, 15 times and it only broke through once and create the penalty. So, you know, you want to encourage that. But at the same time, you need to have a bit of directness at times. And as you say, you know, that taking shots through people, getting crosses, early crosses, and you know, that's how you get your goals, you know. And I think Norwich just need a bit more of that, and that bit more understanding. It's like a bit naive at times trying to play the perfect football, which You know, it doesn't work all the time.
But is that a case of because they have brought in a lot of new players over the short period of time of the break in the summer? Is it taking a bit of time to get used to new members in the team? Because we can see that Quintilla can clearly deliver early into the box, but there's not a great deal of people in there. Max Aarons will put the ball into the box. But is it then set for someone like a Hugo to play a bit more, not direct, but get someone who in the box who is going to challenge with those headers? Because at the moment the balls are going in and there's not really any challenges, to those Derby defenders today.
Yeah, 100%. Derby weren't under any threat from crosses. They knew, they had the presence. They had, they played a back five. Like you're not going to be able to break down a back five. It's kind of false. So the fact that Norwich kept trying to do that through the middle, it was screaming out for something else. And towards the end, you see when you're putting more balls in the box and you're putting them under that, causing that confusion, as we said, that's how things drop and you get those those scrappy goals. But that's what it takes sometimes. Yeah,
well, thanks for joining us, Simeon, and I'll be on the phone to you about signing for Leiston, so expect my call. Take care, pal.
All right, take care. Thanks for having me.
It's virtually signed on there, isn't it? He's given his commitment, and just by saying that, I'm sure, yeah. But he's talked to centre forward there, and you knew as a central defender, playing in that game today as one of that back three centrally for Derby, you'd probably know you're going to have a fairly comfortable afternoon because you've not got too much of an aerial threat in Timo Pukki.
No, not at all. You mean like every ball was in the box? If you ask Simeon there, basically, every time the cross came in, Timo Pukki wasn't going to win it. You know what I mean? Like you say, all of a sudden, Hugo comes on as a defender. You worry about Hugo. You know what I mean? Hugo wins the ball, and all of a sudden, Pukki becomes sort of like less significant as a defender because you're concentrating on the big guy. So basically, before that happened, all you're concentrating on, said, we'll put it in because whoever's here, we're going to win the header. You know what I mean? So it's a different mindset as a defender. Derby defenders knew every time the ball went down to the byline, the crosses in, anything in the air, they won every single header. Hugo came on, all of a sudden, well, hang on a minute, we've got to beat Hugo now, who's good in the air. It's a new problem. So you forget about Pukki, and like Simeon would have done, he would have reacted off of Hugo then. He's not the one that's like having to fight for the crosses.
Picking up the pieces.
Absolutely. So Pukki's good at that. You know what I mean? So that's what we say when, if this plan isn't working, Derby defended deep, in numbers. It was difficult to play through them. They did it once, like I say, got the penalty, missed the penalty. But then you got to say, well, hang on a minute, how can we win this? Because defensively, in open play, Norwich, we're not going to score. We're not going to concede a goal today. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you've got to say, well, we can still play the intricate football, but we've got that added option now where fullbacks can hit it from deeper areas on the pitch, diagonals to the far post, and then you've got runners from midfield. You've got Pukki working around people. That's sort of like the only criticism really today.
Make it sound really easy, don't we? Up
yeah,
here?
We do. It's easy. It is up here.
It's a very difficult game. Yeah, but we have actually got the pleasure of announcing Norwich's goal of the month. I think here it is. Take a look.
Here comes Aarons on the right-hand side, crosses into the penalty area, comes off a Preston defender. This one might fall for Paqueta. Oh, it's blocked in the 6-yard box. Another chance! This time he scored! Paqueta with the equaliser. He makes amends for missing a chance earlier on. He comes across towards the supporters, realises that none of his teammates are with him because they want to get the ball back on the halfway line to try and get a winner. But that's Paqueta's first Norwich goal. He'll be feeling a bit better about life. They're back on terms. It's Norwich 2, Preston 2.
Always pleased as a new signing to get your first goal, isn't it?
Yeah, great goal from Paqueta there. I think what was good about that was the one he missed earlier in the game. You know what I mean? And even the first shot he had there, he sort of like duffed the shot, but he had the presence of mind to control it. And I thought it was a really, really good finishing. And we said at the time after that game, this guy, I think he's got the potential to be a real crowd favourite. It's disappointing he's injured today because I think he's got a lot to offer.
Yeah, fantastic. And we're done for today. Rob, thanks for joining me again. Next time, it's Birmingham City during the week on the 20th of October. Take care. We'll see you then.